car known as the Beast, the limo that will take President Trump and the First Lady in this parade route. I want to get to the bottom of Penngate. We have new information about Nancy Pelosi. She apparently got the pen used to nominate Elaine Chao as Transportation Secretary, and in a gesture wanted to give that to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Which makes more sense.
She eventually got Tom Price's pen. Just want to be clear for the record that we got the
so
pens.
she did end up with Tom Price's pen.
She did.
Which we thought she did.
Which is funny, actually.
It is funny when you consider the fact that Nancy Pelosi, was so instrumental in signing health care into law, and now Tom Price is hoping to disassemble it. So there's some irony there, to be sure. So joining us now is Anita McBride and Mark Thiessen and Katie Pavlich and Ambassador John Bolton, all joining us to weigh in on the coverage of the inauguration today. Mark Thiessen, let's get started with you. Your thoughts?
There you go. This speech was actually a very good speech. I was a little bit on the dark side. If I was writing Trump's speech, and of course I wasn't, I would have done more of a vision of what does America look like when America's great again? What is the vision? The factories teeming with jobs. If it's something that was much more optimistic. He went a little bit darker, talking about the ravages of on our borders and all the rest. But one thing that I thought that was really, really interesting that's gotten overlooked is that he talked about the forgotten men and women of America, and he talked about them in two groups. He said mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities and rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation. The forgotten Americans have always been described as the white working class. That's Trump's base. But there's a second group of forgotten Americans, which are the people living in the inner cities. Those are the people who didn't vote for Trump. And Trump in his speech very empathetically said to them, I'm going to fight for you even though you didn't vote for me today, which I thought was a very uplifting part of his inaugural that was overlooked.
Anita, talk about the pageantry here, and from the perspective of this day, having been with First Ladies before.
Sure. Well, this is a great American ceremony, of course, and you can't help but feel the weight of it, the majesty of it, how important it is, an incredible symbol, and also to see all the former presidents that were there, too. That's such an important display of unity, and such a unique, small club of people who really know what this feels like coming in and going out. But I couldn't help but think about it and look at Mrs. Trump all morning and say, what must this feel like? This is a woman who's been an American citizen for only 10 years from a former communist country, and now is the wife of the leader of the free world. That's a pretty impactful thing if you want to think about it.
The second foreigner to become First Lady.
Right.
The first one, do you know?
First one, of course. No, Louisa Catherine Adams. Louisa Catherine Adams was the first.
As we look at the motorcade leaving the Capitol area, Katie Pavlich, you've seen the coverage of the inaugural address, and you heard it, obviously. Your thoughts?
Well, the first thing is, I think when you look at what Donald Trump said today, he's making it very clear that his election is